morning, everyone. I am excited. I am here with Interior Designer Lauren Vallario. She is a graduate of the Profit Insider Academy, my one-year-long coaching program, along with Associate Coach Leslie Myrick. So you guys know me. I'm Nancy Gansakoff, business coach. And Lauren, tell everybody a little bit about your business and where you're located.
Hi, everyone. My name is Lauren, and I'm an interior designer in the Westchester County, New York, and Fairfield County, Connecticut area. I have a studio based in Fairfield County. I have been in business. This October will be 10 years. So we're celebrating a big milestone. But I will tell you, until I started Nancy's program, I struggled for the first 9 of them. So
you know what? It was the first thing I was going to say to you is being in business for 10 years. So you were in business 9 years when you came into my program. And one of the things I always ask everybody is why is this important to you now to join the program? Do you remember?
Oh, clear as day.
All right. So tell everyone, what was your situation when you came and filled out an application for Profit Insider Academy and then got on the phone with me for that free application review? Do you remember?
I do. So I had gone to High Point Market for the first time in 2022. And I met all these fabulous people. And as I was talking to them and they were saying, well, how many projects do you have going on? And at the time I had 30 projects going on. And it was just myself and a part-time assistant. And I was pulling my hair out. Along the journey, I met these great people who told me about a coaching group. And I started looking into it. And I said, yeah, okay, maybe. I wasn't convinced. And I was listening to a podcast and you were on it. And I had listened to the same podcast and Leslie had been on it. And I thought Leslie was a firecracker.
Yeah, she is.
And I'm listening to this podcast that you're on and I'm like, this woman is going to kick my butt into shape. And I just knew you were the coach that I needed. I said, she's a New Yorker. I'm a New Yorker. I need her to tell me what to do because I'm going to listen to her. And the fact that Leslie had just started coaching with you was just this added bonus of, okay, if I had any design specific questions, I had Leslie there. But what I was struggling with, I had clients. I had an awesome pipeline. I just had too much and didn't know how to handle it. And I don't know if you remember this, but in my free call, I said to you, I don't have a choice. I have to do this because if I don't do this now, what is the point of being in business? I'm going to burn out and it's great to have all this business, but if you're A, not making the money you want to make and B, you're going to make yourself sick, what's the point of being in business?
And that's where I really, at our application review call, started identifying like, you're going to burn out. You're going to burn out. You cannot keep doing what you're doing. And I did it to myself. So I understand the burnout. And immediately we started talking about how less clients, more money is a better business model than just take everyone and say yes to everything.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So,
and I would absolutely say that that is like one of the many things that I learned in your program. I could never say no before. And I never wanted to because I was always afraid. Well, if I don't take this one, is another one going to come? Am I going to have, is the pipeline going to stay? Am I going to offend somebody if I say this,
Yeah.
And I was just always afraid to do it. But you gave us the tools to know how to do it.
Yes. And it's so multifaceted. I'm sure like you come into the program and everyone comes into the program thinking, this is the one thing I really need to learn. And then you hear everyone else's issues and go, oh my God, I need to learn that too. And I think that's part of what I like about running this. They call it a cohort. It's a group that starts together and ends together. And you guys ended up being very close, like most of my groups do.
Yeah, we've, especially some of the other designers like Stacy and I keep in touch on a regular basis. We all started a chat, so we're helping each other out, and it's been great. It's like an extended family.
But tell everyone the meat and potatoes, what you said before we went on live, right? Tell everyone your numbers. And I really appreciate you sharing this because a lot of people don't like to share. And when people are coming into my Profit Insider Academy, they're like, can you tell me what the other people have done financially? And I'm like, they don't all want to share, but go ahead, you tell.
Oh, I'm happy to share because I think this is great. So sorry, I'm just reading it because I have it written down. So from the time I started your program in August of 22 to August of 23, my revenues went up over 60%. Markup revenue went up over 400%. and profit has tripled.
Tripled.
Mm-hmm.
So you're paying yourself?
Oh, I'm paying myself.
Yay!
I am paying myself. I was able to add, I have 2 full-time staff members now. I rented a studio because I work outside of my particular area, so I don't work out of my home.
Right.
And I'm not freaking out every month. I have good
Amazing.
cash flow. I'm happy. Everything is the way it should be.
Isn't that crazy? In 1 year, you went from having a part-timer, having 30 clients and being overwhelmed and not being as profitable as you should have been. And now you've got 20 clients, which we talked about before we went live, instead of 30, 2 full-timers. And you're still working on the balance of your life, which I think everyone always works on, including me, right? So that's still a little bit of a struggle for you.
Yep, but I'm continuing to work towards it, and I know I will get there. It's just a matter of continuing to put another big thing we talked about in the group, systems in place.
Yes.
Just continuing to work on that, and it's working. I will say it's a year, right? It is a year, and I think you had said that when we started that you need the year to really accomplish all the things that you're going to learn, and it's a year and then some because you continue to work on it.
Yes.
I stayed on in your next program so I could continue to have access to you and to your tools, and I'm going to continue to work on it. And that it's a work in progress. And that I think that's what being a business owner is all about.
Yes, and that was one of the things I really stress all the time in my daily messages. Like this is a slow and steady wins the race. You're not going to change the world overnight, but how fast? I want you to tell the story about your pricing, because I think everyone thinks that they come on with me and I raise their prices. Like that's just what Nancy does. She raises your prices. Tell them what I actually did with you, because that is not true. I really go personalize each person's business and personality and location and years of experience and the way they come across. Tell them what I did with you.
Yeah. So when I first met you, I had just raised my hourly rate from 175 to 250, thinking that was the answer, that my area could hold that hourly rate and that it was, sustainable. And, but I still wasn't making money. What it turns out is Nancy had me drop my hourly rate back down to 175, but charge the right number of hours for the project. And that's when I started making money. Your 2-step pricing model works so well because the part where I would always lose money was on the project management. Once the design was done and I was implementing, the hours upon hours. I mean, I have one project that I'm finishing out right now that I'm definitely losing money on.
Yeah.
But it was in the past. It was priced before I met you. So I'm following it through, but I know now what I really do need to do a project of that scale.
Yes. So the key, the Designer's Ultimate Pricing tool came out during your year in Profit Insider Academy. So you didn't even start out with that yet.
No.
How quickly did you start making more money once you joined the program?
Oh, like almost instantaneously. I want to say so I started in August, and I think once we started talking about pricing and how to do it and whatnot was probably by the fall. And then actually in one of my really good stories, you will probably remember this from when we were in High Point. So I had put together a proposal using the key for a custom home, doing all of the finishes, all of the furniture, everything. I had done the proposal right before going to High Point. And while we were in High Point, I got the job. And it was my largest design fee to date.
I love that.
We celebrated.
That's my favorite message that I get on the business helpline that we have for our Profit Insiders and my one-on-one clients is, I just got the largest design fee ever in my life. And then like a month later and now I just got the largest design fee ever, even above the one last month. Like we get so many like that.
Yeah.
So that was such an exciting moment.
Yes. And it's such a great feeling to know that you've landed a job that you really want to do and that you don't feel that you're not going to make money on it. You feel like, yes, like I'm going to do this. I'm not even going to think about it. Like I'm going to make money on this job. And it's just, now I just focus on the design. I don't have to worry like I have to watch my hours. I'm going to plug along. I'm going to do what I got to do because I'm covered. Everything is the way it's supposed to be.
Yes, and you have communicated that to the client right from the beginning, which we've taught you how to be confident in talking about money and pricing and not to get so anxious all the time. And that's a big part of the success, is getting that confidence injected in all of you that you can do this.
Yes. And honestly, to all of you out there watching this right now or listening, if you do nothing else, which first of all, you should join Nancy's program. That's like,
Thank you.
absolutely. Just do it. Like, you just have to do it. But if you don't, before you do that, the first thing you should do is buy the key, because the key is everything. It literally gives you the confidence to price your jobs. It's like paper courage.
I
Like,
know.
you price the job, you see the numbers, you know what it is. And then when you're presenting that proposal to the client, you have all the facts.
Yes.
You have it. It's not like you just pulled it out of your head, like, oh, I should charge this because I think it's going to be this much work.
Right.
It is legit. So they did all the work for us, guys.
I'm so proud of that product. Like,
It is amazing.
seriously. And making it part of the Profit Insider Academy is just made so much sense to me, that if you join the Academy, you get the key automatically, because that is the basis now of everything, and your pricing, it all. I think what I do differently, I don't know every other program, but I start with your pricing.
Yeah.
I start with your pricing. Yes, you need your business and words and your websites and your this, and we do all of that too. However, it all starts with your pricing and your confidence and getting that sales skill down, so they actually close, that you can actually close the deal into a successful program. What was your favorite part of the program?
Oh gosh, there's so much of it. I mean, the being able to have access to everybody was so great, because I always have felt in the 9 years prior to joining the program, like I was kind of on an island.
Yeah.
I never found any other designers in my area that I felt connected to or that were open. And here it is, like, who cares? Everybody shares.
Yes.
And no one has like this like wall up, right? We're all sharing very like raw, honest, like, this is what I charge. You actually start that your first
I do,
session,
because
you ask us how much we charge.
I know it usually shocks everybody, but to me, if we're not going to be honest with each other in the group, then we're really not going to have the best potential to learn from each other.
Exactly.
Right?
And we ended up learning so much from each other. You know, there's so much value in having that connection with other people that do what you do, that aren't your competitors.
Yes.
You know, and that's it. It's a beautiful thing. I mean, there was that. I mean, just everything you taught us. Like, I am so much more confident in doing what I do now. You know, can you imagine being in business 9 years and saying, okay, I think I'm successful. I made it past 5, right? They always say 5 years is like, you're make it or break it. I made it past 5, but like, I never felt confident.
Yeah.
I was always like, am I going to survive? Can I afford to do this? And now it's like, if I'm not sure I can afford to do something, I just Voxer you and I say, Nancy, this is what I'm thinking. I mean, I remember when I talked to you about getting my studio and you were like, Lauren, are you absolutely sure you need it? Can't you work out of your home? And we talked about all my obstacles and how this made the most sense. And I did it.
Yes.
And you know,
well, I mean, to me, the business helpline, the Voxer walkie-talkie app that my clients have access to me, they have access to Leslie as an associate coach in the academy. That getting an answer same day or next day at the latest is just what helps people not stay stuck for too long.
Yeah.
So that to me is a critical part of the whole program. And then what do you think of the essentials, the lessons, the membership site, as I used to call it?
I mean, it's awesome. And what I liked about doing the essentials with the program was that your videos and stuff are great on the essentials, but having the conversations after we did the lessons was really helpful. But like I said, I still go back in and I'm like, wait, Nancy's got a lesson on that. Let me go back in and look at what she says and how she says to do it. It's just so valuable. It's like all the things that you're like, where was this? Like, you know, if like I think back to it and I'm like, why did I struggle for 9 years? I never knew business coaches in interior design existed. And I know.
And now there's so many of us. So I think it is important. And listen, I do these things so people know about my program and the success that you've had. And most Everybody is so successful in the Profit Insider Academy. If you do what I say to do, you're going to have success. And your version of success is different from someone else's. And that's why we personalize it so much.
Yeah.
But you are an incredible success story. And it's not just the program, but it's you. When I interview people from their applications, what I am really looking for is someone who says, I'm going to do what I need to do.
Yeah.
And that doesn't mean working 16 hours a day to get the homework done that I give you. It's literally almost taking it down a notch and not doing everything. And let's just do the things that are going to move the needle for you.
Definitely taking a few steps back, slowing down and absorbing is huge.
Yes.
I mean, I would just say to anyone who's still contemplating it, like, you have to think of it from, yes, it's an investment.
It's expensive, and I know that.
But the bottom line is, if you don't do it, you're in the same situation. Nothing's going to change. But if you do it, you have a better chance of things getting better. And that investment, you're going to make it up. I did, like,
quickly.
Yeah. And it's trust me, when that first credit card payment, I was like, oh God, what am I doing? You know, like, who doesn't? But at the same time, like, now I don't even think about it, you know, like, I'm like, oh, okay. Like, you know, the money came, everything that you were teaching, it was making the money come in.
Right. The money is going to come back in leaps and bounds if you actually can do what I'm saying to do. And again, modifying along the way. There's not one cookie cutter for everyone.
Yes.
I think the biggest impact is the fact that I mix younger and newer designers, not necessarily age, just newer to business and more experienced and extremely experienced, all in the same group, which people sometimes go, well, is everyone going to be like me? No, it's going to be a mixture. We've even had window treatment only people in the group, kitchen and bath only people in the group, and everyone still meshes because
and not even in the same country.
Right, we have from all different countries, which is amazing, right? Because people go, how can you coach people from different countries with the different, monetary, guidelines? It just takes one conversation for me to go, okay, let's talk about business in your country, and then I just adjust my advice for them, and it's amazing. We had a great group. I really appreciate your participation in the group, and everyone helping each other is what makes it successful, as well as us being there.
Yes, and you.
And me. It's my superpower to tell people what to do.
See, that's what I said. I'm going to listen to her. But I will say one more thing on that. The most important thing is you give us all the tools, but it will not happen if people don't use them. And I'll admit, in the beginning, it takes some adjusting, and you have to, like, really get used to you're stepping outside of your comfort zone, right? Because you're telling us how to do something we've never done before, and it may not feel comfortable. And when you get there, it'll feel so much better, but you got to do it. You have to put, like I always say, put on your big girl pants and do it.
Right. Walk through the fear, and trusting me and my program is, and this is, the testimonials we get is what causes people to continue to trust my program. So I appreciate you coming live and talking about the hard stuff, how much more money you're making, how less clients, how your team has grown, all because of the Profit Insider Academy and the hard work you did, and your team members also, right? How to hire.
Yeah. That was fun.
Properly, right? It's a big deal. So thank you, Lauren. I really appreciate you coming live and letting everyone know what your journey has been as a Profit Insider in my academy, because we are opening up another group September 19th. It starts, and we can see so many people are going to the landing page and considering doing it. And then they probably go, oh, I don't know if I want to do this right now. And they bail. So
people do it.
From now, 1 year from now, you could be having the success that Lauren has had, and don't wait any longer.
Nope, don't wait. Just do it.
Just do it. All right. Thank you. Bye, everyone. Go have a great day.
I'll
see you soon. Bye.